I'm like, yeah, he's fine. I wonder when he'll be mine. He walked past, I press rewind to see that face one more time, and I got this soda.
T-R-I-B-E. Welcome back to my channel. You're here with your elder in chief, Karima McGee. Hi. I gotta first give a shout out to my tribe, Yanika. I wouldn't be here without you. Miss Tammy, you already know. You go back. We go way back. Thank you. And D. Muhammad, my sister. Listen, I couldn't do it without you guys. I wouldn't be here without you. As long as I know there's some human beings on the other side engaging, I'll keep the videos going. That has always been my promise. And I keep coming back because of that. So thank you. I'm going to jump right into this. You might need your big girl underwear on to hear this, because we're going to go deep. And I can guarantee you that you have not heard this message anywhere but here, because this is a download. Here we go. Every woman has her own rhythm. Every woman has her own rhythm. That is a deep feeling of her essence. And I'm going to go deep. So hold on. I want you to come with me. All right? Rhythm, the woman's essence and her rhythm. What dictates that? And what does that actually mean, Karima? It's sound, how it leaves her body, where it comes from in her body, the sound waves that she makes with her body as she moves, how her hips sway, how she moves her fingers, how she interacts with the world around her. Whether she's in a state of anxiety, you can feel that in the voice that leaves her body. Her simple way of moving around and about. Her rhythm is how she interacts with you, how she engages. When she speaks to you or you speak to her, her rhythm is listening and hearing and feeling. All of those things gives about her rhythm, how she feels. If there's a woman who's ever had a rhythm that was using the hi-hat as the bass, I don't even know if that makes any sense, but that ting 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 ting, that's the hi-hat in my mind, right? A woman who has that rhythm, ting 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 ting, that's a very high energy, high moving, high feeling, always around and about type woman, always in the midst type woman. So her rhythm is that of the hi-hat, and I can only explain what I see when I see women, right? So she is, who can I express as a hi-hat woman? A hi-hat woman will be a Chloe Bailey, right? Not really settled in energy, but she's at that peak where she is expressing sensuality most often, so you don't get to see many layers of her because she's hi-hat vibing, if that makes any sense. But there's some women who are like the bass drum, and they are in the cut. And if you know music, help me. But they know how to sit in the cut and dum 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 dum. They vibrate what feels like they're vibrating low, boom 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 boom, and it is like home. So when I am expressing myself and I'm saying that every woman has a rhythm, that is what I'm talking about. I can't really articulate how my brain or how my writings work all the time, but that's what I'm talking about. Some women feel like the bass on a guitar. If you know music, you know what I'm talking about. Some feel like a hi-hat, ting, 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 ting. They're always high, right? And they have this piercing energy, this shocking wave that they give you. And some of them are just in the cut. They're in the cut so well that you don't realize how important they are until you take them away from the symphony or the sounds, right? That's LMA. She's is my bass. She's my doom 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 doom. Okay? Now I hope y'all following because y'all know my brain, the way it works. I hope you get it. But you ever been around a woman who just seems so unbothered by what's happening in the whole world? Not bothered in the sense that she's fussy. Okay, fussy women to me, a lot of them are hi hat, right? Those are the ones who are very deliberate about how they sound when they talk. So they want to talk like that. That's a hi hat woman, right? Or they're very fussy about what they put on their body. Fussy in the sense that it takes 12 outfits because they're trying to find themselves. I see that as hi hat energy. But then there are some women who are just, they know what looks good on them. They take a sweater, they take a pant, they put on a lip gloss, they put on a lipstick, they put their earrings on. They're not fussy. When they get dressed and put together, it looks amazing because they know themselves. They're naturally pleasing to the eye simply because they know themselves. They're not fussy. The boom, 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 boom that I find in LMA, it's so refreshing to see because it doesn't have to be fussy. It doesn't have to be a red light flashing, look at me, look at me, look at me. In fact, she's so settled in her being that it's unnecessary actions, okay? What I get from her is this very at home, she has a very wife mother energy. Something that says, come home. She has a come home energy. Okay? And when I think about young women and where they are energetically, that's generally how I think about it. How close are they to their sonichood journey? How far are they from their sonichood journey? I'm always thinking about frequency, energy, and vibration. Whether or not they're vibrating at the hi-hat means they got a long way to go. Because that subtleness, that okayness in your body and in your limbs and in your voice and in the way you walk and the way your hips move when you walk, and all of that takes time and energy and refinement for some people, especially if they come from a lot of trauma. But LMA, she has this beauty that it is so subtle that it doesn't need much of anything. It doesn't need much of anything because it's so at home. Now, don't get me wrong. You have homely and you have at home. We're not speaking about homely because when done up, all right, she still has the at home energy that I'm talking about. And I'm going to prove it. I want to put some photos here so I can show you what I'm talking about. But this energy that she has, and that I am going to further refine my writings on it because I think it's extremely important to point out, is that you don't have to be overtly sexual and sensual and at your peak all the time for people to feel you. You can be like sunshine so that when you are removed from the equation, you're very well missed. You're missed because there is an essential piece that's missing. What is that thing that is, what is your rhythm, darling? It's the way you feel when you show up. It's the way you feel when you're around. It's the boom, 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 boom. They can feel your heartbeat. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. It's just the way my mind works, and I'm really trying to articulate it in this video. But when when I think about women, I think about percussionists. I think about, I told you guys a long time ago that my dad had they were doing bongos. I don't know if they had like this they were doing African music back then. And so when I think about music and I think about myself even, I think Karima's a bongo, that back and forth, that downbeat, that's what I feel like when I'm in your presence. I want to feel like a bongo. And I don't know why I say downbeat, but that downbeat, the back and forth, that's what I feel like. And if I had to give any one sound, whether it be the bass drum, whether it be the hi-hat, whether it be the bongo, whether it be, and I'm thinking in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration, use the music as a way to describe it. But let me play this video of LMA, and you and I will be back to finish up this video. Here we go. Check it out.
Bone to pick with you. I told you.
She said that she had a bone to pick with me. And I said, do you want to do it on air or off air? Then Natalia was like, on air. Okay, what bone do you have to pick with me,
Last time I came to the studio, right? Remember you had a really dry cough. And you were like, oh no, it's fine. I'm fine. And I was like, okay, I believe you.
Right.
Fine. Then I left the studio. I went to I went somewhere else and I was on my way home and I get a call. They were like, big boy tested positive for COVID.
Yeah. Did you get COVID?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I see? Can you feel that what I'm talking about? There's an authenticity there. And you always find that in women who vibrate at the bass drum level. These women always have they're not too fussy, they're chill, they don't mind smiling, they don't have a problem interacting with the rest of the world. They're not too high up on some sort of pedestal, or they just feel good. They feel authentic, and you can feel it oozing off of them. They're not trying to be, they just are. And that's what makes them even prettier, is that they're not trying to put on a show. They just simply are the show. She's a star quite naturally, if you understand where I'm going. And there is such a at home and at peace and settledness about her that I actually look forward to seeing what she's going to do next, because this is what I'm trying to express to the rest of the world. Femininity is not only one way, darling. It can be expressed in various different ways. And that all depends on where the woman is at any one point in her life, where she's at emotionally, where she's at spiritually, and then also how much of herself has she healed up, whether or not she's had trauma to heal from. You'll find, and I find this quite often, that women who vibrate at the bass drum level, what I'm talking about, they vibe there, they feel like that, their rhythm is that. A lot of them have had both parents active in their lives, whether in or out of the house. They've had the presence of the masculine, they've had the presence of the feminine, in a healthy way. If not biologically the father, perhaps another male figure who has stood in, but give them a sense of security. So they have a sense of at home and a sense of being at peace because they're secure within themselves. And that takes time if you have not grown up and you have not experienced that. In any event, I'm not surprised that LMA is now booed up. I believe she's with a basketball player from the Celtics. I don't know if you call it the Celtics or Celtics. I don't know anything about sports, but I believe that's who she's with. And, here's one more thing I want to say about these women that have this kind of rhythm, They don't need to broadcast their business. In fact, they're very private. They're very private. They're the pretty girl that used to live on your block who was very pretty, always had the boyfriend who spoiled her with gifts, but you never really saw her. And then when you did see her, gosh, she was stunning. When she did pop out, oh my goodness, was she awesome. She wasn't everywhere all the time. Remember, my mother said, you don't have to be the one at all the parties. You want to be the one that's invited to the parties. Until next time, be inspired, be empowered, and be well. I hope you learned something today. Bye.